Saladin al-Ayyubi, a name whispered with reverence, a beacon of hope in a time of darkness. He was more than a sultan. He was a symbol of unity, a champion of justice. Born in a time when the Muslim world was fractured, he rose to become its defender. His courage was legendary, his wisdom unmatched, but it was his mercy that truly set him apart. Saladin understood the cost of war. He had seen its horrors firsthand. Yet, he never wavered in his duty to protect his people. He knew that true strength lay not in brutality, but in compassion. Even his enemies recognized his nobility. Richard the Lionheart, the English king, respected Saladin deeply. They were rivals, yes, but bound by a mutual admiration. Saladin's story is a timeless one. It is a story of faith, courage, and mercy. It is a story that continues to inspire even today. For decades, the Holy Land had known little peace. Jerusalem, a city sacred to three faiths, was a prize fiercely contested. Christian crusaders from Europe had come to claim it as their own. They built fortresses and waged war in the name of their God. The Muslim world, divided and weakened, struggled to resist. Jerusalem fell. Its people suffered. The call to prayer was silenced by the clang of steel. The fragrance of olive groves was choked by the smoke of battle. The arrival of the Crusaders had cast a long shadow over the land. It was a time of fear and uncertainty. The very soul of the Muslim world seemed to hang in the balance. The Muslim world was like a mosaic shattered into pieces. Different rulers, different ambitions, each one vying for power. Their disunity was their weakness. The Seljuk Turks, the Zengids, the Fatimids, all powerful in their own right, but unable to present a united front. This division played directly into the hands of the Crusaders. They exploited these rivalries, turning ruler against ruler. It was a time of political maneuvering and shifting alliances. But amidst the chaos, a new power was emerging in Egypt. A young Kurdish warrior named Salah ad-Din, Saladin to the world, was steadily rising through the ranks. Saladin answered the call to defend Islam. He understood that a divided house could not stand. He knew that the only way to defeat the Crusaders was to unite the Muslim world. He began by consolidating his power in Egypt. He brought an end to Fatimid rule and declared allegiance to the Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad. With Egypt secure, he turned his attention north. One by one, he united the Muslim territories under his banner. He appealed to their faith, their sense of brotherhood. He reminded them that they were stronger together. Saladin's message resonated with the people. They saw in him a leader worthy of their loyalty. He was a skilled warrior, a brilliant strategist, but above all, a man of deep faith and compassion. Section 5. The Horns of Hattin. The year was 1187. The Crusader army, led by Guy of Lusignan, made a fatal mistake. They marched their forces across a dry, barren plain, their target the city of Tiberias. Saladin, a master strategist, saw his opportunity. He positioned his army between the Crusaders and their only source of water, the springs of Hattin. The summer sun beat down mercilessly. Thirst tormented the Crusader ranks, their horses collapsing from exhaustion. The battle began. The Muslim army, invigorated by their faith and Saladin's leadership, fought with ferocious intensity. The Crusader lines crumbled. Their once mighty army, weakened by thirst and disarray, was utterly crushed. The victory at Hattin was decisive. It shifted the balance of power in the region. Saladin had captured Guy of Lusignan and many of his nobles. Jerusalem, the holy city, lay vulnerable. Yet Saladin did not seek revenge. He remembered the horrors the Muslims had endured when the Crusaders took Jerusalem. He would not repeat their cruelty. When he entered the city, it was not as a conqueror, but as a liberator. He treated the defeated with mercy, allowing Christians safe passage. He guaranteed the safety of their holy sites. He even allowed some Christian families to remain. His actions stood in stark contrast to the brutality of the First Crusade. He showed the world that true strength lay not in vengeance, but in compassion. Saladin's victory at Hattin and his subsequent recapture of Jerusalem sent shockwaves through Europe. It led to the Third Crusade, a desperate attempt to reclaim the Holy Land. But Saladin, ever the strategist, held firm. He fought bravely against Richard the Lionheart, ultimately negotiating a truce that ensured Muslim control of Jerusalem while allowing unarmed Christian pilgrims access to the city. Saladin's legacy extends far beyond the battlefield. He was a reformer, a patron of the arts and sciences, and a builder of hospitals and schools. He is remembered for his chivalry, his sense of justice, and his deep faith. Centuries have passed since Saladin walked the earth, yet his story continues to resonate deeply. The Battle of Hattin, a clash of civilizations, a struggle for faith and land, still holds valuable lessons for us today. We live in a world often defined by conflict. Differences in religion, culture, and ideology drive wedges between people. The story of Saladin reminds us of the importance of unity. It reminds us that our common humanity should always transcend our differences. It reminds us that true leadership lies not in sowing division, but in building bridges of understanding. Saladin's life offers timeless wisdom. Unity is strength. A divided house cannot stand. When we are united in purpose, we can overcome any obstacle. Compassion in victory. True strength is not defined by how we treat our enemies in defeat, but by our mercy. Justice for all. A just ruler is one who treats all people fairly, regardless of their faith or origin. Knowledge is power. Education is the key to progress and enlightenment. Invest in knowledge, for it is the greatest treasure. Saladin's story is not just a tale from the past. It is a beacon, illuminating the path towards a more just and compassionate world. A world where unity triumphs over division, where compassion guides our actions, and where justice prevails for all.